And we are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Online. Well, we're coming to the end of an era, actually. The Google Hangout, the Hangout on Air, is going to be discontinued as of August the 1st, 2019, which basically means these Hangouts will be no more, and we will have to use some other form of bringing our guests on. We have one of our legendary guests. We have somebody all the way from Yorkshire. The man himself, well, we did have him. I don't know if he's still there because he seems to have disappeared. But we have Jack Sunderland. We did have Jack Sunderland in the room, but he seems to have disappeared for the minute. I'm not sure if he's on a telephone call or what. Look, he must have disappeared. But anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to BWTM Online. We're just waiting for Jack Sunderland to reconnect in the room. I don't quite know where he's gone. I know he's part of the. Let's see, Jack's there. He might be on the phone. I'm not sure. Jack, are you there? Yeah, we're just waiting for Jack to come into the room. If he's there, don't know where he's kind of gone off to. Looks like he's, I don't know what happened. He's on the line. Let me see if I can. Nope, he's gone. He's not there. Well, he's there. He's in the room, but he seems to have disappeared. So we'll wait and see for Jack. So he might be on a telephone call. Sod's Law does the interview, starts the interview, and yes, the grinder start early today. Does indeed, my friend.
Ingram.
Jack, you there?
Yeah, sorry about that. We're live now, yeah. Sorry about that.
Yeah, we were live and you just disappeared. As I was about to announce your name, you disappeared.
I know. Lucy rung me. Sorry. I did. Sorry.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. That's right. Let's get it right. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to BWTM Online. We have with us all the way from the training cave in Birstall, in Yorkshire. And for those people who don't know where that is, that's near Leeds, not too far from Leeds. We have Jack Sunderland returning. Jack, how are you?
I'm good, Ingram. Are you?
I'm very good. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
A married man.
Yeah, a married man now.
How's it feel?
All right, no different.
Okay.
He is a little bit more.
Just a little bit more. Are you feeling the game over syndrome yet, or you're all good?
Nah, I'm all good, mate. All good.
You're all good.
Yeah,
good to hear.
Yeah. She's a good.
Massive hello to Lucy as well. Lucy, how you doing? I hope that you're well.
Yeah.
Okay, so lot to catch up on. I think the last time we spoke was at that. The first show you did was the last time I really had that connection with you guys and seen you guys.
Yeah.
Then also you had the second show, and Stavern was in the country, so I was with Stavern that week, unfortunately, so I couldn't get to see how that show went. So talk to us about that show.
Yeah, it were another success. If anything, I think it went better than the first show. From my point of view, I want to stress that I think I was very laid back about it this time. I kind of just knew it were going to work out. The first show were a little bit like I didn't know how things were going to go. I didn't know what were going to happen. But the second one, it just went better, and I just think I think as they go on, it's going to get easier. I had a bit of help really though, because this time we're like matchmaking. We had 6 of the fights that were on our show that were actually national championship fights for the junior championships. The Yorkshire Boxing just contacted me and asked if I could put them on my show. So I just said, well, yeah. So that were like 6 fights that were absolutely definite. So I had to match up like 10 or 11 fights after that, which made it a lot easier. So they want much stress this time.
So for those people who don't know exactly what you do, just a reminder as to what you do, let's re-plug you in for people who may have missed that, what you do and what you're about.
Yeah, as in the training cave?
Yes.
Yeah, we're an amateur boxing club that's affiliated with England Boxing. I mean, boxing's like the core thing of what we do, but we provide, training, fitness training for all ages from 6+, and we cater for all abilities as well. So we run like fitness classes, we have beginners boxing classes, and we have as advanced classes as well for us as boxers that are part of his team. We're going about 2 years now, so things are just building and gathering momentum now.
So for those people who don't want to know more about the training cave, here you are, see, dedicated to our training cave support there. If you want to check out more about the training cave, of course, go check out the documentary we did on the training cave, which gives you a little insight as to what they're doing, how Jack moves around, and also the first show that they did is also available on BWTM, so you can check that out. Google it; it's all there. So, talk to us about the end of year for you. So you've reflected. We can talk about the end of year for you now, Jack. How did that work out for you? Reflecting that year of 2018 boxing for you.
Yeah, so like I look at it as in like a boxing season. So the end of the season finished a couple of months ago, sort of like May time for us. And it was like this season was like our first full season, because last season we didn't start going until sort of Christmas time, and as lads were brand new to it, and we didn't really have many fighters, and we were just sort of getting us finding his feet really. But this first season was his first real crack at it, and we had a little go at championships and stuff, and we've done really well. I'm very, very happy with what we achieved. We competed in nearly 100 competitions, 100 fights. So, from skills to normal bouts, to competing in championships and box cups, and I'm just really proud of all the fighters. We've built a team as well. We've got more coaches on board now. And I'm really looking forward to this next season, because I think this next season will be like as proper season, if you know what I mean. Like we can have a real good go this season at all the championships. We can have a crack at them all.
So now let's talk about, like, what have you learned from the last season to this season in terms of where you were? If you could have gone back and thought about the idea of you building the training cave.
Yeah.
Having the sort of the season you had, and then looking to where you are now, talk to us about the growth in that journey.
The growth, it's been unbelievable, and it's been really quick as well when I look back on it and what we've done. Because I went from obviously starting just completely on my own, training everybody on my own, to then we got 2 coaches, Chris and Steve, that you've met, and then since that, like as fighters teams grown from about 4 to, I think we've got 18 medical carded boxers ready, to get carded for next season. We've got 2 extra coaches now since I last spoke to you, Rich Atkinson and Graham Thomas, that have done their courses. I've also got one of my old coaches, Paul Wilde, who helps me out with the beginners. Brandon, one of us fighters who works for us part-time now, helping me out with every class all the way through. And it's like the team's just grown. I didn't expect it to get as big as what it did, to be honest. In my head, I probably thought I was always going to do it on my own. And I think the level of skill with us fighters as well, when I see some videos of them from like a year ago, even 6 months ago, I look and I think, oh God, the difference in them's unbelievable. And when I see them in gym now, they're completely different fighters, and they're only going to get better. And us as a team are only going to get better.
But isn't that growth down to testament to yourself? You said that you felt you were doing it all by yourself. You would have been doing it all by yourself. But the fact you've been able to give leadership over to other trainers and other coaches, does that not testament to your own mentality that you weren't going to try to do it all by yourself? And what did it take for you to be able to do that?
I suppose I never really thought of it like that. Yeah, I suppose it's just about driving forward all the time, isn't it? And I think that is my mentality with everything that I do. I just want to, I want to give it 100% at everything that I do, and it just so happens that my job is something that I'm passionate about, and I just think about it all the time. And we've just ended up where we are right now. It's mad to think where we could be in another year or two. Exactly.
In terms of fighters and special mentions or people that come to the top of your head, we know there's certain fighters that we've actually seen before and we've done videos and documentary on. Talk to us about those fighters and their progression, that anyone stood out.
Yeah. First one I'd have to mention is Brandon Bailey. He's how he's come out of himself in this last year is unbelievable. He started last season. He'd not had any fights yet. He'd only had a couple of skills bouts, and it was kind of like quite slow moving for him. And I was feeling a bit sorry for him. But then out of nowhere, he had the skills at the beginning of the season. As soon as he came to that corner at the end of the fight, I said to him, "Your next fight will be a proper fight." And I think he looked at me a bit nervous. I don't think he was expecting it. But then after that, he's had 10 now and won 6. And he went on a run. He was just winning every fight on bounce. He's only lost in like very close fights or in important competitions, which it's just experience for him. And he's just getting better and better in terms of his mentality as well. He helps me coach the kids and he helps me coach adults as well. And he gets up in front of like 20 grown men and shows them a move and stuff. And he's only 16. And he's becoming like a man, and I'm really proud of him. He's the couple of other lads. All of them. I could talk about them all, but Noah and Iron, they went in the schoolboy championships. Freddie Phillips went in as well, but he lost a close fight in the Yorkshire stages. Noah Nichols, he won the Yorkshire title, so he's like his first champion.
Hold on. Congratulations, Noah.
Yeah, so Noah's his first champion. He had a right war as well. It was a brilliant fight. Iron got a bye straight through to the quarterfinals, so there was nobody in Yorkshire to fight him. And he boxed a good kid from Darlington. They lost it before, but this time it was much closer. Unfortunately, he got beat again. And Noah lost a close fight, which you could have argued either way. But again, that's our experience as coaches and as a team. We'll come again, and I'm sure Noah, Iron, and Freddie will do even better next season. One more who's done well in competition as well, Harry Avis.
How is Harry, by the way?
He's all right. We've had a bit, I've learned a lot of lessons from Harry, and I spoke to his mum and dad about it and stuff. And he's probably one of the most naturally gifted sports people I've ever seen in my life. He's good at everything that he does. He's a brilliant rugby player, and he's a really good boxer. And I think he could be whatever he set his mind to. He could do it. This season he's been a bit up and down because of his progress with rugby. There's loads of clubs that are after him, loads of professional clubs that want to speak to him, and he's only 14, so he's got a lot on his head. And just said to his mum and dad, just let him concentrate on his rugby, but keep him in the boxing gym because it'll do his rugby good. Yes. He don't have to have any pressure to fight. He can just train, and that's that. He don't have to fight. I'll take him off at list. So we did that, and then he missed the show. He didn't fight on show. He came and watched and stuff. I think he was probably a bit gutted that he wasn't involved. But then he just said to me, we were taking a few lads to the Lonsdale Box Cup, which is like a tournament in a weekend. And he just turned around to me one day and just says, can I go in it? I said, yeah, may as well have a crack at it. I know he's talented. Probably not been training as much as what he should have been, but I thought, let him have a go. Well, he ended up winning a silver medal. So
wow.
He got to the final, and it's just brilliant. Yeah,
Harry,
yeah, so he did well.
Glad to hear it.
Yeah, and then the rest of them are just building as a team. I think the next season will be for them. Some of the other ones that were coming through.
One of the ladies, Beth Walsh, talk to me about what's going on with Beth.
Yeah, so she had her first fight. That will have been the show that you didn't come to.
Yes.
But basically, she was playing football for Leeds United as well. I don't know if you can remember.
Yeah, we did the story on it.
She was only really training with us probably once a week, twice at maximum. And she was going through a period of like, does she want to box or does she want to play football? But obviously she'd worked all her life to get to that stage where she was playing for Leeds United. And she was in a good position with the football. And her dad and her mum and that, and they didn't really know what she wanted to do. I don't think Beth really knew what to do. So same again, bit similar to Harry. I just said, let her just have a crack at home show, see how she does. And then she can make a choice for herself then. But I said to her parents, like, she can't expect to walk into boxing and be as good as what she was at kickboxing and football, because it doesn't work like that. It's a different sport. And I'm not sure they fully understood at the beginning, but I needed them to see it for themselves, and I needed Beth to see it for herself.
Yes.
So I matched her against quite a tough opponent.
Yes.
Thought, well, she's gonna. We'll see how she reacts to it. Anyway, it was a close fight. She did really well. The girl that she boxed went on to win the national title, and she's been at European Championships. And Beth had a close fight with her, so that just shows the potential that Beth's got. But now she's decided to knock football on the head, and she's training with us for 4 or 5 times a week now. So Beth,
wow.
Yeah, she's going to be on it next season. She's going to be.
Wow.
We're all excited by her because she's very good.
The next season, and I'm sure you're going to do really well.
Yeah, well, there's a bit of pressure now because you packed football in to do it. So let's hope she gets it. She gets the wins.
Absolutely.
I'm confident in her, though. I am very confident in her.
So fantastic. Let's talk more about Training Cave, the community. Sometimes we can, within our organizations, kind of stay within our little box and stay within our little area. And I always felt that the Training Cave had that ability to go out into the community and go on a wider scale, because so much impact you were having with those young people. You know, they were coming in, you come and see that small gym packed out with young people all the time, every night. So talk to us about the evolution of the Training Cave, that it's not just at the boxing gym now.
Yeah, so in the beginning, it was I'll be honest with you, it's like business. It was a matter of survival for me, just ducking and diving and getting through and doing what I could. And then I started to get a little bit tired with what I was doing, and I just felt like I was going around in a bit of an hamster wheel, doing like one-to-one training through the day and then just running my classes on the night. And Lucy noticed a bit of a change in me, and she said, "You're just tired all the time. You don't seem to be as passionate about what you were doing as before." So I made the choice to knock the one-to-ones on the head. And in my head, I thought, we're going to go out now. I'm going to start doing stuff outside the gym with the community and schools and stuff. But I had none of that actually lined up at the time. In my head, I thought that's what we're going to do. So I sent an email to the council just saying, we're here, we're a boxing gym in Birstall. If you need us for anything, I could probably volunteer for a couple of hours a week. I'll come out, I'll work with kids and stuff. I'll just do what I can. And that email it blew up. It just went around meetings in council meetings and stuff like that. And all we've had since is just offers, and it just seems to come a couple of times a week. I'm looking at my emails and we're getting something else like, can you do this? Can you do that? And it's a buzz. It really is a buzz. So we've got. We started out with the park near us where they're having a lot of problems with troubled youths, like causing havoc. So we went on there with like a tennis club, and we were doing tennis and boxing. There were football and rugby there, and we had all sorts of kids coming down just joining in through the day over weekends and stuff. So we were doing that for free to get to show the council this is what we want to do. These were other clubs that were similar to us that wanted to help, and then it's just grown from there. So we've got stuff lined up now in summer where we're going to have a lot of kids coming down, and they're going to train. They're going to be getting fed. It's going to be like being at school for them. They're going to come down for a couple of hours a day. I've had schools coming in, pupil referral units. Like lads that are not in normal school because they're causing trouble at school. They can't sit at a desk, so they've been coming in and boxing at our place through the day. And it's like, it's weird. I never thought I'd be doing stuff like that, but it's given me a real passion again, and giving me a big buzz knowing where we can go and what we can do.
One of the things I discovered that working with Wayne Llewellyn, Boxing for Schools, does a fantastic job going into schools and working with the kids. They call trouble kids, are hard to reach young people, hard to reach. But I found that when we were going to the schools across Bethnal Green or East London and in Kent, and then we set the Frank Brewer Boxing Academy, is that the kids will settle after they did the bleep test or they hit some pads. Yeah. After that, these same troubled kids were able to access the curriculum so much easier, and their mind was settled. The key thing about all that was they found that because some of these young people had difficult home lives, they had all that pent-up aggression, so they had no way to release it. And they found they were releasing it in the wrong places. So they released all that aggression out on the pads, doing the bleep tests. And then after, when they were in class, they focused and were engaged in the curriculum. So boxing does a phenomenal job in schools. And I hope that the opportunity happens for you to be in those schools to do that.
Yeah. I think, I don't think people quite realise the power of sport. I don't think they quite take it on. I know some of them lads that come in. In fact, there's loads of lads that are in our gym and girls, and I could not imagine them sat at a desk at school just come. So they need that sort of outlet, and some of them what they call disadvantaged and hard to reach kids. They haven't got the support at home.
There you go.
So they need the support from somebody else. And if they're not getting the support from teachers, which is hard for teachers because they've got a lot of kids to think about, but in the gym or in a sporting environment, it's a lot more of a closed atmosphere, and you can spend the time with them and give them advice and mentor them, and they see you as a bit of a role model, don't they? And then they look at the other boxers as role models as well. And I wish I could train them all. Wish I could have them all in, because I know what impact it can have on them.
Absolutely, they see you and they see the training cave as home for them because their home life. Yeah, great. So when they come to the gym, that's their home. That's their family. It's incredible.
Yeah, we had a lad come in, a 12-year-old lad, and he's at a pupil referral unit, but he would come into our normal sessions. He just wanted to come in on a night. And when the very first session, I won't forget it, he came in, and I kind of knew about him because some of the lads told me he were going to come down, and they told me what he was like. And he was messing around first 5-10 minutes, and I just pulled it on side and said, "You've got two choices." I says, "If you carry on, you'll be out at the gym. Simple." I says, "Or you can just be all right, and we'll be all right, and you could become a good boxer." I says, "This ain't school." I says, "I'm not a teacher. This is my gym. If you're going to mess around, you're not going to be here for long, mate. You know, like, look at the class, it's busy. There's 20-odd kids in here. We don't have to have you here. So it's up to you." And his mentality just switched straight away. And he's been like an angel since, honestly. He's been absolutely great. And we had one of his teachers call in the other day, just randomly, just to thank us for for what we've done for him over the last 6 months, and how he's changed. He's a lot better at school since he started coming to the gym. Yeah, so that made me feel really good. That's better than a lad winning a fight, is that?
Yeah, that's showing that the work you do is not just inside the gym; it's outside the gym.
Yeah.
How have relationships been with other clubs? Because obviously you're growing now. Before people didn't probably expect you to grow as fast or as successful as you are now. How have relationships been with other clubs?
Great. To be honest with you, since I decided to sort of have a little break over summer, obviously we've not been out and about sparring or going to shows or all like that, and my phone hasn't been going off as much, so I am talking to them all as much, but I think the relationships are still there. They know that we're reliable. There's a couple of them that I am always in touch with. There's one that's my old coach, Dave Nelson. He's just set up his own another gym again. There's a guy called Seb Glazer. He runs the Vulcan Boxing Club in Hull, and he's the one who's really inspired me and motivated me to doing all this community stuff. So I'm always in touch with Seb because we're always sharing ideas, and well, I'm probably pinching ideas from him more than anything. But he's a good guy, he's Seb, and I like to keep the circles quite small, to be honest. I don't want to get too much, because you can get a lot on your plate.
Keep it all very
yeah. Thing is with boxing is there's a lot of politics and stuff like that in there, and I'd rather not get involved in stuff like that. I'd rather just, I've got my mates, I know which clubs I can rely on, I know which clubs I can talk to, and keep it as that for now.
In terms of scoring this year for you, have you felt that you've got the fair crack of the whip when you've gone to these shows, or do you feel the judging could still be a bit questionable?
Yeah, towards the end of the season, I was getting a little bit frustrated, and that's when I knew I had to have a couple of months break. The guy that I just mentioned, Dave, my old coach, he hates the judging decisions that go on, and so does Seb, to be honest with you. You've got to just accept it. I've said before to us boxers, they've got to learn to lose. It's an horrible thing, but sometimes they'll win a fight and they're going to lose. They just got to accept it, and we have as coaches, there's no point complaining about it because it's happened. And as the season went on, there were decisions that went against us that I didn't agree with, and I don't know why. I really don't know why. I'm not sure.
But some of these judges, they don't feel worried about the impact they're having on the young kids, and so many people who are not ready for pro boxing have turned to pro boxing because the amateur system is the judging is so biased at times.
Yeah, I think amateur boxing can sometimes be hard to score in very close fights, and I'm talking like the national finals and stuff where you've got two of the best kids, and it's like one punch, could make a difference. And I can understand that decisions are very close, but I've seen some of ours lose fights. I just don't know how they've lost. But it's just one of them things, and it could be down to the judges, might be down to the training that they're receiving. I don't know. That's nothing against England boxing, by the way. I don't know. I've never done a judges course. It could be, it could be the training. I do genuinely think that there is a feeling of like who they're friends with, who they like, who they don't like. I definitely think that, without a doubt, 100%.
But does that help the fighter? If I'm in fights where I know I didn't win, but I'm still getting getting the nod, how does that develop you? How does that motivate you to be a better fighter in the gym?
Well, it don't, does it? It don't. That's another thing. That's what winds me up. It's like, why are you giving them the decision when they don't deserve it? I've had one of our lads get a decision before that he shouldn't have got, and I told the judges after, because we were friends with him, and I said, don't do that again. I said, I'd rather you not. I'd rather him lose than win a fight just for the sake of giving us a decision. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I'd rather him go back, train hard, and come back with a different mindset to want to win. The problem, what these judges don't realise is, when they're robbing these kids, is that decision could be the difference between a guy or a kid becoming a man and making money out of the sport and actually earning a living out of it. They're taking them opportunities away from them by giving them a loss. Because if it's in a national championship and they get to the final, that's the difference between making the England team and not making the England team. When they're on the England team, they've got the chance to be on GB, where they'll get a full-time wage. You know what happens when a fighter goes through the GB system and wins a medal at a major tournament. Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, big money contracts. And they're stealing it. They're stealing it from them. And the judges, it's not about that win or loss. It's about, you're talking about a kid's future. Like their life. That's what really gets to me. That's what really angers me.
So, I mean, Mick Conlan's a good example of a guy that should have got a win, didn't get the win, and wasn't happy about it.
Who's that, sorry?
Mick Conlan.
Oh, yeah. No, it's just it happens, doesn't it? It happens at all levels, not just amateur, but professional. It does happen at professional level as well.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, I think you've broken up slightly. I don't know what happened. You seem to have...
Are you there?
Yeah, I'm there. But you seem like you've broken up slightly. Hold on.
I haven't done anything different. I don't know what's...
You've pixelated. I don't know why you've pixelated. Let me see. Okay. Let's try this here. See this. Right. So let's move on. So we talk about we've talked about the judging, we've talked about the boxing. In terms of boxing supplies and gear, do you have a supplier? Are you being sponsored at the moment?
No, we've never had any sponsorship from anybody because I'm a bit weird, me. I always think I don't want to think I owe anybody anything. Do you know what I mean? So I'm going to do it myself. So what we've got is now, I've got a couple of companies that are helping us. There's one called Fight for Peace and there's one called Sported. And they basically help clubs that are in areas of that suffer from crime, violence, and they've got disadvantaged kids nearby, and they help to sort of mentor you in what to do in terms of getting funding and grants and growing. Do you know what I mean? So it won't be just a boxing gym; it might become a bit of a youth club and stuff like that. So in terms of like as gear and stuff, as I haven't said to us members yet, but they might find out now watching this video, there is going to be some stuff coming soon, and it's just through funding and stuff like that, which I never really thought I'd go down that route either. But while I've been doing all this, and as his gym sort of must have gained a bit of popularity, have you heard of the mate called RDX?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, they emailed me saying if we wanted to become an affiliate with them and stuff, so they're going to be providing with us a bit of gear as well. So that's a bit of a boost for us.
Go on, Jack.
Yeah. So yeah, we're just getting ourselves into different positions now, but we do need to renew his kit and his gear before season, really.
I think before you know it, we'll be doing Jack Sunderland sponsored by William Hill. And Bet Fred.
Might get some money back then.
Yeah. Oh no, you might be the new face of Lucasade. It's funny.
Don't know about that.
Because Ruben Gray asks, are there any guys from the gym to keep an eye out for the coming season?
Yeah, I'd name them all. And I think what we've got the development championships coming up in September, October. So they're for fighters that have, like category fighters. So you could under 10 bouts or under 20 bouts. So it's not like an open championship.
Yeah.
But it's a chance for late starters to have a go at the national championship. So in terms of our gym, we've got Harry, Brandon and Beth that are quite late starters to the sport, but are good enough to have a go at these national championships. So we've got them three going in September, October. So them three are going to be his first sort of priority of the season. So they're definitely ones to watch out for because they're three very good fighters. In terms of his younger ones, we've got loads. The names that come straight to me: Noah, Freddie, Iron. We've got a Polish lad called Nathaniel who's just turned 12, and he's an absolute beast. He's an heavyweight, but there's not many about to fight him at the moment because of his size. But he's one to watch out for.
Wow.
We've got a good group of kids. They're all still novices, really. But if you keep an eye on his gym, you'll start hearing the same names popping up. So if he follows us on Instagram or Facebook or anything like that, you'll start noticing there's a few names that'll keep cropping up.
Who's the best promoter for promising amateurs to start a pro career with?
It's a difficult one, isn't it? Really. I mean, on the biggest scale, like obviously you'd always say like probably Eddie Hearn because he seems to sign everybody, doesn't he? But they're like the big guys. But in terms of I'll talk about our local area and people that I recommend to.
Yes.
I'd say like Steve Woods or Steffi Bull in Doncaster. I think he's a great promoter and manager, and what he does for his fighters from like grassroots up to novice pros and his small all shows. I really like what Steffi Bull does, and I think he's great for sport people like him.
Okay. What is it about Steffi Bull? I hear a lot about Steffi Bull, and you would probably know it a lot better than I would. What is it about him, what he does, that stands out for you?
I just think he's got his fighters' interests at heart, and I think you can see that in like the work that he does. You can't pretend and lie for so long, which a lot of promoters do to get found out. But I kept an eye on Steffi Bull because he helped me out a bit in the beginning when I first started. So obviously I've kept an eye on him since, and all I've seen is his stable just get better and better, and his gym's grown, and his business has grown, his shows are packed out, and he's getting his fighters in title positions, and I like he's a grafter. I think he's old school. He does it. He's very old school. I just think he's great at what he does. I've watched him over 3-4 years. It's hard to kind of explain it all in one sentence, really.
He's been doing some great work, Steffi. So
he inspires me.
Absolutely. Let me give a shout out, Steffi. Keep up with the great work that you're doing. Always support people. I hear of you and stuff you're doing. Same sort of thing. I keep hearing of how you look after your fighters, how you promote or manage your fighters. Keep up the good work. Ignore the haters and keep up the good work.
Yeah.
So, which leads us around. So we've talked about community. How's Dana doing?
Yeah, she's fine. She's on holiday at the moment. Her sister trains there now, Lulu. She's doing really well, is Lulu. She's lost a lot of weight and she's getting fit and strong. Dana's same. She trains hard. She's 100 mile an hour. She comes in, she bats it out. She's training 3 or 4 times a week. Part of the family, isn't she? Yeah.
Any movement of her fighting, or she's just going to do it for keep fit?
I think keep fit. A mindset might change. We've just started a female-only class for Friday now to encourage more girls, and she's come into it, because obviously you get a lot of young ones coming in, but Dana's like, she's still coming in and she'll move around with little ones and stuff like that. She's good fit. Jimmy's Dana.
Yeah.
He's
Gotta give Dana the old shout out there. Gotta give a shout out. Right. Let's talk a little bit outside of Training Cave. Is there anything else I've missed out on Training Cave?
I don't think so. I don't think you need to visit soon again because I think you'll notice a difference in.
Absolutely. We have to make that very soon because
there's coaches. We've got some really good coaches, and the two new guys, Rich and Graham. I think you'll really like them as well.
Fantastic.
We've got a really good team around us.
Well, listen, if you're saying that, then I believe it.
Yeah.
So I believe you.
Good guys.
Okay, now let's move on. Let's leave the Training Cave for a minute, even though you're with us still, and let's step out to Training Cave. I can hear the boos already starting. Let's talk about Lucas Aid. Let's talk about William Hill. Let's talk about JD. Let's talk about AJ boxing. Let's talk about the Andy Ruiz fight of AJ. Your thoughts?
Poor guy. I don't know. Really. Do you think there was something wrong with him that night, or what? Or do you think he was beaten by the better fighter?
My man was beaten before he got in the ring.
He looked like he was, didn't he? There was something not right about him. There was something not right, whether it was his mindset or something.
Yeah. Who employs? I mean, this is it. The red flags were there. First of all, why would you employ a Navy SEAL to prepare your mindset to not get knocked out? Surely, if you're going to bring somebody in to work your mindset, it's to improve your visualization. It's not to work upon a negative. He brought somebody in. The rumor was he brought somebody in to help him with the fear of getting knocked out.
I'd not heard of that.
Yeah, that's the reason why they brought this guy in. Yeah, because somebody in America asked him the question. I heard that you've brought somebody in to help you to get over your fear of getting knocked out. And I heard that and I went, that's not a good sign.
Oh, God. No, that's not. That's obviously something's happened in his training camp then, hasn't it? Or something's happened along the line somewhere that's made him think he has to seek somebody to do that. But, yeah, that's like a negative, that's a real negative thought in your mind that you should
So you've built that fan, you've brought in a negative mindset. You're bringing somebody in from a negative, but not to improve you. That, like, I have a fear of being knocked out. So you reinforce that as opposed to say, you know, I want to visualize my knockout win over Andy Ruiz. So the mindset's so different.
Yeah, it's like you're not thinking how I'm going to win. You're thinking about how I'm not going to lose, isn't it?
There you go.
Oh, God, I don't know. He's at top of his game, world champion. I don't know.
And then he handed the belt over to Ruiz. Could you imagine Mike Tyson doing that?
Like a smile on his face as well, didn't he? I think it's bad that they're rematching straight away.
I mean, all right, but we've been talking about Joshua for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, we've had talks like in the van and on phone and stuff like that, haven't we? And we've always, people might watch this now and think we're just saying it, but we've always said that it was going to happen, didn't we?
Yep. I even called it. I don't know if you saw my preview video for the fight on the day of the fight.
No, I haven't seen it, no.
I said exactly how it happened. I said, Joshua will get caught in exchange. He got left right hand combination. As he's engaging, that's where Ruiz is going to nail him. And that's where he'll get knocked out.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we saw.
Yeah. You know, like what we talked about earlier about, you know, decisions and stuff like that. This is what reminds me of, like, the path of somebody's career. You know, Anthony Joshua, did you watch him in the Olympics when he
was the first round?
Right? Yeah, he fought the Cuban. He didn't win that fight.
No, he didn't.
Did he? He did not win that fight. And then when he fought in the final against the Italian, I thought it was a very close fight and it could have gone either way. And I thought he was lucky to get the decision there.
If he was not in London,
exactly
anywhere else in the world.
Again, that's judges again. But obviously, it's worked in Joshua's favour. He's become a multi-millionaire because them decisions in the beginning formed the path. He was signed by Eddie Hearn. He's got a big money contract, and he's gone on that path. Should he have been on that path? I don't know. But you look at the guy who really beat him in that first round, the Cuban, who was probably living in poverty and has probably gone back to living in poverty. I don't know.
Yeah.
That guy should have won the gold medal or should have been in the final at least.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. Judges are messing with people's lives. And then Joshua has gone obviously he's won a world title and stuff, but he's been found out, hasn't he, at that level. And I feel a little bit sorry for him because maybe he's progressed probably too fast, too quick. Because he only had about 40 amateur fights, didn't he?
Yeah.
He only started boxing at 18.
So, your thoughts? Did you watch the whole fight, right?
I watched the repeat. Yeah. I didn't watch it live.
What do you think of chewing the gum shields? The getting the neck massage was the most bizarre one, where he was getting his neck massage before the fight, like in the ring. I'm like, excuse me.
Yeah, and then what were weird were like in corner about some of the stuff he was saying.
Yeah. You said
what did I get? It just wasn't right. Something were wrong.
So you tell me, In the corner, I saw Rob McCracken, and I saw McCracken giving instructions. He goes, "Why am I feeling like this?" And McCracken is giving him instructions. McCracken at no point is getting caught up in what Joshua was saying. He's just giving instructions. Where, I mean, if a fighter tells you and says to you, "Why am I feeling like this?" How would you respond?
Yeah, alarm bells would be ringing. I mean, we're at a different level, aren't we? But
yeah,
I'd be thinking, I'd probably be looking at pulling my fighter out, but I'm at an amateur level where I can afford to do that. They're talking multi-millions, aren't they?
Yeah.
Rob McCracken spends a lot of time with him in camp, so he probably, I don't know, really. It's an awkward one, isn't it? There were obviously something, whether it was that first shot that he got caught with or something, I don't know, but something messed with his head, didn't it?
Yeah.
And he probably wasn't thinking clearly, because a good shot can last for a full fight, can't it?
Yeah, people say a ring is a ring. See, a lot of people, for me in boxing, people repeat things, but don't actually think about it. A ring is not a ring if you haven't boxed abroad. And if you box here in England and then you go and box in Las Vegas, and the temperatures are so different. So you've got the atmosphere you've got to deal with. You're in a different world, a different environment. So many different things to consider. You know, you're no longer in your hometown. You don't have your hometown comforts. You don't just drive down the road and just roll into the arena and you've got the judges on your side, or the judges on your side, but you're at home, everything's creature comforts. Now you have to go out and sell yourself to the public, a public that don't know who you are. You'll sell at 89,000 in the UK. Now you have to go and do more media commitment. So with more media commitment, that also means less training time, or your training time. And if you haven't done it before, then, and your team haven't done it before, then there's a problem there as well, because you're having to suck it and see almost. And did you take enough time to go out to Miami? Should you have taken longer time? Was Miami the best place to be training? So many different things. You know, was there too much media? Was there too much advertising? Was there less time spent in boxing? Was there technical things that should have been worked on that weren't worked on? Was there changing opponent? Should there be boxing rees? So many things. Your thoughts?
There's too many questions, isn't there? And it makes me think, why were they going to America anyway?
Well, good question.
Yeah, for me, it's probably greed on maybe Eddie Hearn's part of wanting to make him this global superstar. Do you know, like, has he not earned enough money as it is? Could he not carry on competing at Wembley, bringing...
Don't do this. Not when we're in the middle of this. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here, yeah.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
You catch that?
Yeah, I caught that. Gotta hit you multi-million and it froze.
Yeah, so like...
Froze again. Must be a phone call.
It's not a phone call, no.
Is that a phone call?
No.
Keep going. Like somebody at YouTube doesn't like you, or somebody doesn't like you. You're speaking the truth. Keep going.
Is it all right now?
Look here, keep going.
No, what I'm saying is, why did they take him out of the UK where everything was going well? For me, it's got to be greed. They wanted more money. They wanted
arrogance.
Arrogance, yeah. Why not get Ruiz to come to us? Like, why has it got to change?
Arrogance. Got to be arrogance. Got to be arrogance.
2 minutes, Ingram, mate. Lucy's dad's at door.
Oh, okay.
I'll be 2 minutes.
Cool, no worries. Oh my God.
Well, that's professional, Ingram, isn't it?
That's all right. That's cool. That's all right. Hey, I just got some more feedback here.
Yeah.
Did you see the AJ training footage of moving backwards on treadmill, throwing jabs and towel video?
No, I haven't seen that. But with the training with boxers now, they're just trying to overcomplicate things. Listen,
and AJ there was a picture of him jumping up and down, moving under a piece of rope. Now he's a 6'6" guy fighting a guy.
Doesn't need to roll against Andy Ruiz, who's...
Why is he doing that?
Yeah, what's he coming down to his level for?
Exactly. He needs to be standing tall and using the jab. What is happening with boxing?
They're trying too hard. They're trying to reinvent the wheel.
And it's not in that. It just tells you the team are inept. Inept. What are you doing on a treadmill running backwards?
Makes you laugh, doesn't it? Have you seen the interview with Tyson Fury talking about him?
No, I haven't.
About how he says about how Anthony Joshua could out-train anybody. He could outlift anybody, outrun anybody. He said he's probably broken every treadmill in the gym. He says, but he's talking about how that relates to fighting. And
I'll do it.
It's done. And it's like, this is like the thing with boxing now, like with all these like strength and conditioners and stuff like that. They're trying to reinvent it. When I do like the strength stuff with my lot,
yeah,
it applies to the fighting, but fighting comes first. Fighting training comes first. We just do that as like a supplement, just as an added thing to their game.
Two things that are happening in boxing. You've got a lot of people in the sport that don't know what they're talking about. They have no clue what they're talking about.
Yeah.
Secondly, the commentators and the experts are hurting the sport, particularly in the UK. And I'll explain this, right? Because commentators and experts are being paid by the broadcaster to follow a script. That script has got nothing to do with educating the fans. What it's to do is with selling pay-per-view. It's demand the pay-per-view. If you turn around and say that Conor McGregor is got a 50-50 chance of being Floyd Mayweather, you put your money down because you don't like Floyd Mayweather to pay for that pay-per-view. When you and I damn well know there's no chance that Conor McGregor's beating Floyd Mayweather. Man's coming out of MMA and UFC. It's going to be one of the greatest fighters of our time. And you've got our people saying, our experts telling us this is a 50-50 fight.
Tickets out. They're selling it to boxing. Well, to boxing fans that don't know boxing. It's frustrating, isn't it? It's like, to be fair, Joshua's a prime example. The way he's been built and the way he's been sort of media trained and the way they've sort of built this thing around him. It's frustrating to watch. We've watched it from the beginning, and it's just so like I think it's fake. You know, when I listen to talk, I might be a really nice guy, but I just think he's been taught to say that. I'd rather listen to somebody like Tyson Fury who just says it as it is.
As it is, it is. Yeah. What do you make of these promoters' comments saying that they should be beating the likes of Andy Ruiz, as if Andy Ruiz is just like a walkover job? It's just.
You're talking about Andy Ruiz, wasn't he fighting from like 6 years old out in Mexico or something like that, and he'd had 100-odd fights as an amateur, won many titles. He barely lost an amateur fight. That's putting him down. Yeah.
I know.
They haven't got a clue.
And this thing about
he's been brought up fighting. He's had to fight. Joshua, and he started later on in life. He was doing other things. It's like Tyson Fury. He was born to fight, wasn't he? He's been brought up fighting.
There's a difference. And you know, you try and talk to Joshua's people, Joshua fans. They think big muscles equals good fighter. It doesn't.
No, it don't.
Why is that? What is it? Muscles mean you can fight. Muscles don't mean you can fight. It just means you know how to lift weights.
That's what I love about boxing. You just don't know. We don't know, do we? It's like these natural knockout artists. They can be wide, they can be right tall and skinny, but they're knocking everybody out. And then you've got like the little muscly guys that can't, they can't punch, but look the part. That's what I love about boxing.
What did you see Wilder's knockout of Dominic Brazil?
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah.
What did you think?
Oh, he's just scary, isn't he, Wilder? I won't want one off him. I know his skill set's very limited, but he just smashes people to bits, doesn't he?
Is that right?
I think Tyson Fury getting up from that punch, I think he's a freak.
There's more to come, though.
Yeah, there is. Yeah, well, they've signed again, haven't they? So they'll be fighting next year, I think.
Yeah, make as much money as you can, Tyson.
Yeah, I know. Do you think he'll get beat next time, Fury?
It's that right hand. We saw what happened with Chin the last time.
I'll always say that I've always said from the beginning, I think Fury is the best of the lot. But
He
when
is.
you're up against somebody like Wilder who could just put you to sleep for a week in one punch, it's a scary thought, isn't it? I mean, can you imagine Wilder against Joshua now? I think Joshua would be like a sitting duck.
He always was a sitting duck.
Yeah,
But
he always was. But now, I think he'd be even. I think mentally.
imagine him getting hit with a right hand that Brazil got hit with.
It'd be an horrible thing to see. I don't know where Wilder gets his power from because he actually jumps when he throws his punch. he does things like he's a sort of fighter you don't want your boxers to watch.
No, you don't. No, you don't. And he's the type of guy that when he's young, he's gonna be very good. But as he gets older, slower, he's gonna be like regular.
Yeah.
They're like those guys, those reflex guys, fighters. They're great when they're young, like Roy Jones. You know,
I get what you're saying. Yeah,
switch muscle and all that sort of stuff.
It's if you adapt the way you fight, it a bit
Breaking out
as a career went on, didn't it? But it's if he's intelligent enough to sort of change how he does things.
Question: would you be having an immediate rematch if you were Joshua's team?
No, you'd build him back up, wouldn't you? You get him back in.
Oh wait, hold on. Would you? According to the experts, according to his promoter, we want an immediate rematch because we deserve to be beaten. We have to beat the likes of Andy Ruiz. That's the line.
Well, Andy Ruiz is probably laughing his head off because he's just going to get another couple of million in here again. But the first thought that came to me when they talked about a rematch was when David Price were immediately rematched with Thompson.
Tony Thompson, there you go.
It was like the worst thing they could have done for him. That just damaged him.
He did.
I think they need to, for me, they need to take the time with him and build him back up fighting. Well, I'd say British fighters, but there's some of them. I think Dillian White could give him a good crack now.
That's why Dillian White never fought him, because Dillian White's got a tremendous left hook. And where he fought Joshua the first time round, remember that left hook wasn't in commission, it was injured. Yeah. Now he's knocked out Chisora with the left hook. Yeah. He's knocked out Brown with the left hook. He dropped Parker with the left hook. Just imagine get that left hook getting caught by Joshua. Yeah. It's not getting knocked out by Dillian White.
Anybody that can sort of like dip under like that and throw bombs on him, they're made for him, I think, who can get underneath him and come over the top of them shots. And I think White could probably beat him next time.
Final question I'm going to ask you about. Dave Allen versus David Price. How does this fight go down?
It's always the same with Dave Allen, isn't it? It's like how is he training? But he seems a lot happier now. He's training with Darren Barker, doesn't he? I actually bumped into him at Meadowhall the other week. I don't know. I'd want him to win. I'd expect him to beat David Price. But I wouldn't have said that a few years ago. But
a few years ago, what would have happened in your mind with David Price, Dave Allen?
Well, I think Price would have boxed his head off a few years ago. Because I don't know how he's training now, because you never really get full story, I don't think. But how Dave will have been training a few years ago, it won't have been enough to. I think it'd have been it too much. I think it'd have been a bit of a dangerous fight. Whereas now, I think Dave's confidence is sky high. David Price is probably at a time in his career now where he's probably getting towards the end of it, and I think it's Dave Allen's chance, and I think it's his time, probably. I think. Well, what do you think?
I agree with you.
Yeah,
It's got to happen for Price in the first four. If he's going to win the fight, he's got to knock Dave Allen out. He's not winning the fight in points. He hasn't got the stamina to do it. I don't think he's got the mental capacity to do it. Right? He's got to do it in the first four. Otherwise, we'll be seeing same old Price beat. Dave Allen walking down, chucking the overhand right, Price slowing down, eventually getting nailed with the right hand.
That's what I see. It's the same thought as Joshua. I know they're completely different levels, but it's that he's got that little sort of dip as Dave Allen, where he can get underneath and come back up over the top. And I think them sort of fighters are dangerous for people like David Price, who haven't got a granite chin.
I think that Dave Allen actually would be excellent sparring for Joshua in the rematch. Well,
I do. And I know that they've sparred many times before, so maybe they'll get him in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dubois and Gorman.
Oh, that's a tasty one, that one, isn't it?
Yeah. Any thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know. I always go towards that side, me. Like I like the skill and the flair, and Gorman reminds me of Fury. It reminds me of the Fury Joshua debate a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
But I know that Dubois is a beast. I've heard all about him all the way through GB setup, and I know people rate him very highly. I think it's going to be an interesting fight.
Yeah. I talked to Vlad Tsarenko, and he said that if Joe Joyce were to fight Dubois tomorrow, Dubois is too basic. That's what.
All right, really, too basic for Joyce.
Yes, too basic for Joyce.
God, right. Well, then I can see Gorman completely outboxing him. Then
it tells you something, doesn't it?
Yeah, because I always thought the bar maybe they want to beat Joyce, but because I think Joyce is very limited.
Yeah, but not according to his manager. Thinks he's the best thing since sliced bread. We'll wait and see. Joyce versus Jennings. That's on the same card.
Not sure really, but I probably swing towards Joyce.
You don't sound too overly impressed with Joyce.
I just remember watching him as an amateur, and I didn't think. I think he was another late start. I wanted his turn.
Yeah.
His turn pro quite late. Obviously, he's got to very quickly. He's an unbelievable athlete, isn't he? But there's more to boxing than just being an athlete, isn't there?
Absolutely.
I don't think there's much else to his game.
Movement, defense, feet, hands.
He's having that brain.
Mm-hmm. We'll have to wait and see. Jack, how do people contact you and get to see more about the training cave?
Well, we've got a website, trainingcave.co.uk. We're on Facebook under Training Cave Boxing Gym, Instagram Training Cave, Twitter Training Cave. Just suppose if you search for us, you'll find us. Right.
And if people are not sure, there you go.
Yes. That's the one.
Jack, thank you so much for talking to BWTM. We appreciate it. We'll come see you very soon.
Yeah, it'd be good to see you.
Absolutely. Jack, is there anything else you have to say before you go?
No, I think that's it. I think we covered everything.
Yeah.
It's good to talk to you, Ingram.
You too, Jack. Oh, Leeds, Warrington, and
Kid Galahad.
Yes. Your very quick thoughts on that.
Yeah, I didn't watch the fight. I've seen highlights and stuff. It kind of went how I thought it would go. I didn't think it was going to be as easy for Josh Warrington as people thought it would be, because any Ingle fighter is going to be difficult to fight against. And I don't think Kid Galahad is at that level. Obviously, you can't win a world title by just jabbing and grabbing and stuff, which I kind of in my head imagined how things would go. But also from Warrington's point of view, I know he said that you can't win a title by jabbing and grabbing, but you can't win a title if you're not hitting out either. It sounded like a frustrating fight. Probably won't happen again, because I don't think fans will probably want to see it again. Maybe they'll go.
Frampton didn't want. Not Frampton. Warrington didn't want it in the first place. He didn't want that fight.
Well, it's like one of them sort of fights. Like, why does he need to take it?
Yeah.
He's wanting the bigger. If you're Warrington now, you want to go out to America, don't you? And get big fights. Yeah,
absolutely.
He wants to earn his money. Can't fault him.
Frank's done a good job with him.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. And his manager, Steve Woods has had him from the beginning, and the way he's promoted him and got him down to Welland Road and built up his profile, that is how it should be done. Absolutely.
Jack, as always, thank you so much.
Thank you. Cheers, Ingram.
All right. That was Jack Sunderland there from the Training Cave. That's it from BWTM Online. As always, thank you so much for watching. Take care. All the best.